Good morning to all of you. I welcome all of you in today's lecture. In the last lecture, we have seen that the construction aspect of the road equipment or whatever may be the road equipment is there, their descriptions, then the applications of all the construction equipment we have seen in the last lecture. In today's lecture, we are going to learn the constructions of new railway line. So this is one of the important, you can say, the aspect of the advanced construction technology, constructions of a new railway track. So in today's lecture, that is the articles we are going to cover. So as far as concerned with the new railway track constructions, what are the various steps we should follow for the constructions of the new track constructions? Okay. So whatever may be the distance we are going to cover or we are going to construct for a new railway, we should know the different types of the steps as well as what are the various you can say the flow we should maintain while constructions of the new railway or railroads. Okay. Now, while constructions of the new railway or railroad, and that is called as the permanent way. Okay. So the permanent way is the structure which consists of the rail, fasteners, railroad, then sleepers, then ballast, and we have all these rail, fasteners, railroads, sleepers, and the ballast, which rested over the subgrade. Okay. So it enables train to move by providing a dependable surface for their wheel to roll upon. For clarity, it is often referred, we called it as a railway track. Okay. So we have different types of the rails, that is the meter gauge, broad gauge, and the narrow gauge. So as far as concerned with the any types of the you can say the ground surface, we have to construct the new railway line by considering considerations of the various aspect. So the first things we should keep in our mind while constructions of the new railway track, that is the alignment. Okay. So alignment means what? It is the center line we have to laid over the ground surface. Okay, that is known as the alignment of the rail. So this is a small, you can say, the introductions part of today's lecture. Now I am going to share with all of you the today's presentation. So we have the constructions of the new railway track. Okay. So here you can see before constructions of the new railway track, we should consider various factors. Okay. For example, this is the embankment. This is above the normal ground level. So we have the normal ground level here. So as we have constructing the new road, okay, in case of the new road constructions, we have four types of the layers: soil subgrade, sub-base course, base course, and the bearing surface. In similar fashion, while constructing the new railway track, we have to construct the embankment. So this is known as the embankment. So the embankment of the new railway track is like as a trapezoidal cross sections. You can see here. This is the horizontal surface, and then we have the sloping surface on both the sides of the railway track. Okay. So this is the center of the railway track. Now this embankment of the railway track is made up of with different you can say the layers, which is having a thickness also. So as far as concerned with the railway track also, or railway embankment, we have first the soil subgrade. We have to excavate the soil subgrade. Then we have to fill the boulders inside it, and then the base course, sub base course will be there, and the in case of the sub base course we have to fill the murum. Okay, and on the murum there will be another course that is known as the base course. So in case of the base course we have to fill the coarse aggregate that is known as the ballast. Okay, so the top surface we have the sleepers. Okay, horizontal sleepers will be there, and on the horizontal sleepers we have the railway lines. Okay, so this is known as the rail. Okay, which is made up of with the GI. Okay, so this is about the constructions of the new railway tracks embankment. So we will see how the constructions of a new railway line we can construct. So the constructions of a new railway track can be divided into three stages. So the first one is the earthwork. Okay. So then after complete earthwork, the earthwork include the alignment of the center line. Then the different we have to construct the different layers, as earlier I have told you, that is the soil subgrade, then sub base course, and the wearing surfaces. So these are the, you can see the earthwork, and then the second stage or the second steps in case of the constructions of the near railway line is plate laying. The plate laying means we have to construct the sleepers. We have to layer the sleepers or the finished embankment, and then over which we have to fix the railway track. Okay, that is known as the. So while plate laying we have three methods. How the plate laying will be done with the help of three methods we will see in the next slide. Then the third stages is laying of the ballast. So this is these three stages, important stages in the constructions of the new railway line. So as far as concerned with the first stage, that is the earthwork. So the formation may be in an embankment, or you can say the cutting, depending upon the general topography of the area. Okay. So depending upon the topography, for example, somewhere plain there, somewhere the alignment of the railway track is passing through the small nala or the river also. So while in front of such obstruction will be there, such as the nala, river, or any types of the obstructions. So in front, for crossing the such obstructions, we have to construct the small bridges or the okay, or large bridges also in case of the larger rivers. So depending upon the topography of the area, we have to cut or filling will be there. That is we called it as a embankment. Okay. The formation in an embankment is normally preferred from the point of view of good drainage. Okay. So as far as concerned with the drainage systems, so when the constructions of the new railway track, we should consider the drainage facility also, because when the rainfall will occurs. Okay, so there should not be such you can say the part of the formations of the part of the you can say the rainwater or the embankment, because it will create certain problems while movement of the train on the track. So there should be enough drainage system should be there, so as to whatever may be the rainwater will be there, which can be easily drain out from the surfaces of the embankment of the railway track. Then the height of the embankment above the highest water level in the area should be at least 60 centimeter. Okay, so as far as concerned with the highest water in an area, so we have to keep the height of the embankment is 60 centimeter above the embankment. Okay, so such things we should keep in our mind while doing the earthwork. Then we have different types of the gauges. Then if you observe in this particular tables. Okay, so first we have the gauges in case of the earthwork, then types of formation we have, then width of the single lane and width of the or the formation of the double line. Okay, so as far as concerned with the BG, that is the broad gauge. In case of the filling, that is the embankment, the width of the single lane is 6.10 meter, and in case of the double lane it should be 10.82. So these are statistics we should remember in case of the broad gauge while constructions of the broad gauge. So in case of the cutting, the width of the single lane we have to consider, that is the 5.40 meter, and the formation in case of the double line is 10.21 meter. Then as far as concerned with the meter gauge also, in embankment and in cutting, the width of the single lane is 4.88 meter, and the formation of the double lane is 8.84 meter, and for cutting 4.27 meter and 8.23 meter. So this is the how we can maintain the width of the single lane and the width of the double lane in case of the embankment, and the cutting in case of the broad gauge, and in case of the meter gauge. The second stages of the constructions of the new railway track is plate laying. Okay, so at this stage I would like to ask you one important questions, that is this is the width of the single lane 6.10 meter, and in case of the double lane 10.82. so in case of the Aurangabad city, if you see in case of the near the railway station, which type of the gauge will be there? Anybody can tell me which type of the gauge is in Aurangabad? Broad gauge or meter gauge? Can you tell me? Yes. Furkan? Furkan is there?
Yes, sir.
Which type of the gauges in case of the Jammu Kashmir?
So, hello.
Yes. Hello. Hello. Majid. Majid Sayyad.
हाँ सर. सर सर ब्रॉड गेज है.
ब्रॉड गेज.
हाँ सर औरंगाबाद.
So can you tell me what is gauge? Can you tell me what is gauge?
Sir, gauge is the inner to inner distance of rail.
So okay. So what do you understand by the width of the single lane? For example, 6.10 meter. So 6.10 meter in case of the embankment. Okay. So what it indicate? 6.10 meter means what? The whole formation width or only the gauge width?
Sir, whole formation width.
Okay, okay, okay. Thank you for your response. So this is the whole width of the formation, 6.10 meter, and double lane 10.82 meter. Okay. So such type of the we have to follow certain width criteria in case of the broad gauge and the meter gauge. Okay. Now the second stage is that the plate laying. Okay. After the completions of the earthwork, the next stage or the next step of the constructions of the new railway track is plate laying. Plate laying means after the complete constructions of the embankment over the normal earth surface. Okay. So we have to construct the new railway track. Okay. The plate which is known as the plate laying methods. So it is the operation of laying out of the rails and the sleepers. Okay, over the ready formation which is known as the plate laying. So we have the rails, I section rails. Okay, and we have to keep that I sections on the sleepers. Okay. So as far as concerned with the rail, okay, rail should also have its own requirements. It should have a good wearing criteria, or it should not easily you can say rub under the due to the wheel of the train. Okay. So we should keep in certain requirement also while selections of the rail materials and the sleepers for constructions of the new railway track. Then these methods or the operation of laying of the rail and the sleepers or the ready formation, we called it as a plate laying. Okay. So the point from where the laying of track start, we called it as a base. Okay. So we have to select one point from where we are going to lay the track, or we can start the laying of the entire track. So the starting point we have selected, we called it as a base. Okay. And the point upon which the new track is carried out, we called it as a railhead. So the base and the railhead we should also remember in case of the constructions of the new railway track. Now as far as concerned with the plate laying, we have three methods by which we can carry out this laying of the rails and the sleepers or the ready formation with the help of tramline method, or we called it as a side method. Then the second method is telescopic method and the American methods. So these are the three methods by which we can do this work. Okay, that is the plate laying work. And so as far as concerned with the first method, that is the tramline method or side method. So these types of the method for laying of the rails and the sleepers or the ready formation is applicable only in the flat country. Okay, or the flat ground. So when new track is laid next to the existing track, so this method is applicable. So if you want to lay a new track near to the or next to the existing track. Okay. For example, we have the existing track, and if you want to connect the another, you can say the track with the existing. Then the tramline method or side method of laying of the plate is applicable. For plate laying of new track, either of the following two methods may be adopted. The first one is the service road is constructed parallel to the proposed track and the material are transported to the site of the work. Okay. So, see here, we have to propose a service road parallel to the proposed track, and whatever may be the material we require to construct, we have to transport near to the site work. Okay. Then a temporary rail line parallel to the proposed track and the material are transported in wagons, and this temporary line we called it as a tram line. Okay. So as far as concerned with the tram line, in this method all the material are taken from the central depot in the material train on the existing track and spread on the farm. So after completing spreading, the work of the assembling is started from one end manually. Then in this picture you can see here, this is the existing track. Okay. Here we have the existing track, and this is the methods by which tramline method by which we can laying the railway rails or the sleepers. So different types of the sleepers are there. Wooden sleepers are there, then concrete sleepers are there. So nowadays the concrete sleepers are particularly in use while aligning or constructions of the new tracks. Okay. Then the another methods is the telescopic method. So this method is widely used in case of the India. So as far as concerned with the telescopic method for laying of the new railway track, for the first step in case of the telescopic method is the material are transported in material train. Okay. So we require the material train to transport the materials to the farthest point of a new track, and we have to unload it. Then this second stage or the step in the telescopic method, after bringing the material with the help of material train and after unloading that material on the site, the next step is that these material are then transported to the point where work is in progress and different component of track are assembled here. So successively what we can do with the help of this particular telescopic method, we have to transport the materials where the working is going on with the help of material train. We have to unload it. Then such work will be carried out in case of the telescopic methods, and in all 5 operations are involved in the telescopic methods. Whatever may be the operation we have seen in case of the tram line, same procedure. First we need to construct the formation level. Okay. Then above the formation level, depending upon the design. Okay. So there will be a meter gauge or broad gauge. Okay. So in case of the broad gauge, so the center to center distance between the two rails we have to maintain, and as per the design and as per the selection criteria of the sleepers, we have to lay sleepers 50 centimeter or 150 centimeter or 100 centimeter to each other. That is the center to center distance between the two sleepers on the lever formations. And with the help of chair and fastening, we have to fast with the help of the fasteners. Okay. The rail is fasteners with chair and fasteners, nut and bolt with the concrete sleepers. We have the plate also here for fastenings of the nut and bolt with the rail and with the sleepers. So such stages or the such 5 operations are involved in case of the telescopic method. Okay. Now if you see here, in case of the telescopic method, we have the 5 operations. The first operation for constructions of the new railway track in case of the telescopic method is collection and preparation of material at depot. Okay. So we have a depot, or you can say the garage, where we can collect all the material and we have to prepare. Then we have to transport the material from the depot to the work site. Then unloading of the material at work site and carrying out them to rail heads. Okay. Then fixing the rail to the sleeper and joining two rail with the fish plate or by welding. So depending upon the design criteria, if you want to nut and bolt, then do the nut and bolting with the sleepers as per the design criteria. Or if there will be a mention in the design, specially mention welding we have to do, so the welding will be done according to the design. Then packing of track for the correct level and the alignment will done. So these are the 5 operations in case of the telescopic methods. Okay. So the leveling is done with the help of such methods. We called it as a Anderson rail carriers. Okay. So this is 1 meter and this is 10 meter. This is used for the leveling purpose. Okay. So it is these are the sleepers we have to keep below the rails. And if you want to check the rail which is in horizontal or not, so this type of the checking we have to do. So these are the things we have to follow in case of the telescopic methods. Okay, for the constructions of the new rails. Okay. Then the another method is the American method. So this method involve all mechanical work. Okay. So the first step in case of the American method is this method consists of fixing rail to the sleeper and lifting the whole unit by heavy cranes. So we require the cranes for lifting of the sleepers. Then first one is linked with the railhead, and then trains move ahead by one rail length, and the same procedure is now repeated. This method is uneconomical one and it is not used in India. Okay, because we require the gantry girder, because for lifting of the sleepers we require the gantry girder in case of the American method. So this is not you can say economical methods in case of the Indian conditions. So how the sleeper is laid with the help of this gantry cutter. We have the gantry cutters here. See, in case of the American methods for laying of the. So this is the gantry cutter. With the help of this, we have to keep all the you can say the sleepers on the formation width, and the simultaneous work is carried out. This is uneconomical, because for such type of the assembly or for the gantry girder we require a huge cost. Okay, for purchasing of this equipment. Then the next step is laying of the ballast. You can say the third stages. First one is the earthwork, in second stage plate laying, and in third stages of the constructions of the new railway track is laying of the ballast. So the ballast is normally spread on the railway lines after the embankment has settled well and least 2 monsoons have passed over it. Okay, so at least 2 monsoons should be passed over it, and then only we can expose to the the railway. Okay, or after 2 months we have to open for the transportations for the railway. The work of spreading the ballast is done by means of ballast trains which have special hoppers. It has the hopper facility by spreading the ballast over the formation, through which the ballast can be automatically unloaded into the truck. Then alternatively, ballast is loaded in wagon of the train and then unloading at the site into the number of heaps at suitable intervals along the track. So we have to make different you can say heaps at suitable interval along the railway track. Then packing of ballast is done by the worker by means of shovels. Okay. So this is the train used for laying of the ballast. So it has this particular wagon in which ballast is filled, and it has a the hopper. If you open the hopper, then all the ballast will be spread. You can say uniformly over the entire railway track. So such kind of spreading of the ballast will be done with the help of the train ballast. Okay. Then the method of laying of the ballast. So work of laying the track is normally divided into following 3 stages. The first one is preliminary work. So in case of the preliminary work, to prepare schedule of material per 100-meter length or per kilometer of the railway track, the entire quantity is collected at the central store from which day-to-day requirement is drawn. Okay. Then the second step, in case of the methods of laying of the track, laying of the track, removal of the fittings, then removal of rails and sleepers, then placing of new sleepers, then laying of rails, laying of second rails, and the finishing. Okay. And then constructions of the track. In case of the construction of the track, what we need to do, tightening of the fittings. First, we need to tight all the fittings with the help of the panels. Okay. Then distributions of the ballast, equal distribution or uniformly distribution or spreading of the blast over the entire formation width. Then further packing of blast, and then return of release material to the store. So these are the stages. Then after completion, the one of the important things we should keep in mind, that is the maintenance of the track. So the maintenance is of the track after completion is also equally important. The railway track require proper watch and ward for security reasons. Okay. So the maintenance of railway track are divided, or it consists of daily maintenance and the periodic maintenance. Okay. For daily maintenance of the track is divided into sections of 5 to 8 kilometer length. Okay. So each section is looked after by a gang. So there will be a gangman. So and it look for 5 to 8 kilometer per day for day in case of the daily maintenance. For after 5 to 8 kilometer, then another gangman will be there to look into considerations the daily maintenance. So such kind of the gangman we have to keep into maintenance purpose in case of the daily maintenance of the railway track. So the daily maintenance consists of general inspections of the track, then checking of all the fastenings and fittings, then tightening of bolts whenever required, then reporting by unusual occurrence. So these are the things we need to do in case of the daily maintenance. Then in case of the periodic maintenance, The periodic maintenance consists of detailed inspections of the track to detect defect in the track which may not be detected during the daily maintenance. The various aspects of periodic maintenance are as follows. So, maintenance of the alignment, maintenance of the track drainage, then maintenance of the track components and maintenance of the level crossing. Okay, so these are the four maintenance we have to do in case of the periodic maintenance. Okay, so maintenance of the materials, what we need to do, or maintenance of the track materials. Okay, so these are the things we should keep into mind while maintaining the track materials. The top surface of the rail should be kept at the same level. Okay, then ballast under the sleeper should be regularly packed. Then defective sleeper should be replaced immediately. Then worn out rail should be replaced. Then kink or fracture rail should be replaced. Then fastening should be tightened and oiled. Then gauge should be checked and corrected. So this is one of the important the maintenance in case of the track. The center to center distance between the two track we have to maintain, because if the slight variation if will be there in case of the gauge, then there will be a chances of accident. Okay, so accident during the running of the train or the railway track, so we need to keep the in proper position. So the gauges should be checked and corrected. Ensure that both the rail are at the same level. Okay, and maintain track drainage properly. So drainage is one of the important things because if the rainwater is you can say stored on the formation, okay, formation width of the railway, then it is problematic for maintaining the gauges, and even the sleeping surface will form over the railway formation. So to avoid that, we have to maintain the drainage facility in proper position or in proper manner. Then oiling and greasing of fish plate regularly. We have to maintain the fish plate with the oiling and greasing. Then flange and check rail should be kept free from dust. So these are the care we need to consider in case of the track materials. Then also in case of the maintenance of the bridges. Okay, so proper embankment should be provided bridges. Okay, so the bridges is constructed across the river. Okay, so while crossing the river we need to construct the bridges, and over the bridges there will be a, if you want to construct a new railway track. Okay, so proper embankment should be provided near the bridges. Avoid scoring near the embankment and piers. So due to the greater velocity, okay, in the river itself, there will be a chances of scoring. Scoring means the erosion of the bank of the river near the abatement and piers of the bridges. So to avoid the scoring, to avoid the erosion of the bank of the river or near the embankment and the piers, we have to look into consideration this factor also. Then flood control measures should be taken near the bridges. While designing the total in case of the bridges, the hydrology we should kept into consideration, because the hydrologic parameter that such as the velocity of flow in the river, then discharge and the pressure. So these three hydrologic parameter or hydraulic parameter we should consider in case of the near bridges. Then riveted joint should be inspected periodically. Then bed block should be checked regularly. Then steel bridges should be painted regularly. Then bearings of the girders should be oiled regularly, and masonry work should be inspected regularly. So these are the care we have to keep into mind while maintenance of the bridge, because near the bridges, if the railway track will be there, okay, on the bridges across the river, then we have to do this activity. If we don't mind about this activity or this maintenance, what will be happening? Accident will happen. So to avoid the accident of the railway, we have to maintain the bridges also, okay, near the rivers. Then the another important things we should consider, that is the maintenance of the rolling stock. Okay, so as far as concerned with the maintenance of rolling stock, the lubrication of all reciprocating parts and the bearings, then worn out parts should be replaced, the rolling stock. Now it is necessary to clean the different parts every day. All the axle which have run 3,22,000 kilometers should be replaced. Then a passenger vehicle should be for 30 years should not be dismantled and reassembled. The locomotive boilers have to be carefully maintained and removed every years. So these are the things, or these are the maintenance in case of the rolling stock. So I would like to say thank you for in today's lecture. Then if you have any questions regarding about the constructions of the new railway track, so these are the general aspect only we have considered in case of the constructions of the new railway track. These are the three stages: earthwork, plate laying, and laying of the ballast. Okay, so these are the general things we have considered. We are not interested in the design part. Design is different, but these are the things we have to look into considerations in case of the constructions of the new railway track. If anybody is having any question regarding about the methods by which we can lay out or fixing the plate bearing or the rails or the sleepers on the formation, we have generally three methods. Okay, these are the three methods by which we can laid the plate laying methods: tram line method, telescopic method, and the American method. Okay. So one question is for 8 marks or 7 marks in the end semester examination. The question is like this: what are the aspects we have to consider while constructions of a new railway track? Describe in detail the various stages in constructions of a new railway line. So we have to write down first earthwork, then plate laying, and the ballast laying. Okay. And if the question is like this about the maintenance, okay. So these are the daily maintenance and periodic maintenance. So what we need to do in case of the daily maintenance and periodic maintenance? In case of the periodic maintenance, track alignment maintenance, then track drainage maintenance, track component maintenance, and the level crossing maintenance. So these are the things we need to do in case of the periodic maintenance. So in case of periodic maintenance, track material maintenance, maintenance of the bridges, and the maintenance of rolling stock. So these things we need to keep in our mind. So 2 to 3 questions will be there from the constructions of a new railway track. So today we will stop here. If anybody is having any question, Vishakha is there. So thank you for coming in the today's lecture. I declare that the today's lecture is over.